What's going on, Panther Nation? Welcome to the BM Podcast. My name is Brandon.
And I'm Matt.
My name is Brandon.
And I'm Matt.
And what a show we have for you today. My Panthers got a big win, of course. And yeah, we have quite a bit of topics today. We have from Manning getting benched. We have Carolina versus Washington. We have a few topics about basketball. We have a lot of things on today's show. So the first topic we have for you, which is not that surprising or whatever. We have Titans versus Carolina.
They beat the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? This game, and it wasn't the fact that we just beat the Titans. This game to me was what I was wanting for, even though it was just the Titans. We put our foot down and then we wouldn't let them up. They scored 10 points on us. Yes, like I said, we were playing a rookie quarterback and everything. I get that. But they played 4 quarters. Offense, defense, and special teams. And it would have been an even bigger blowout. Tegan had a kick return for a touchdown, a punt return for a touchdown. But, you know, they had a flag and they took it away. So, to me, it's not even much to discuss about that. Like, we had, you know...
It was the Titans. Y'all should have won. Y'all were expected to win. Y'all did win in a way that I thought y'all were going to win. There was a little bit of a struggle early where it was, of course, every game early on is always a game at the beginning of it. But y'all ended up putting the gas on and took care of them. And that's what I expected out of y'all, so it should have been done.
All right, well, like I said, it wasn't, I mean, I'm sorry, y'all, that was not, that big of a surprise to us. We're not even going to harp too much on it. So what we have for you next, we have the Carolina versus Washington. All right, we have Carolina versus Washington. I'm sorry about that. But before we finish with that, I really do want to, and I meant to put this at the beginning, and I'm sorry. I want to thank y'all for actually all your support, and we got plenty of recommendations, people giving us advice and everything like that, and we really do appreciate it. So if you would, just hit the like at the bottom of your screen and the subscribe button. But yeah, we really appreciate all y'all advice. We're taking in consideration. People are telling us what they want to hear and everything, and we really appreciate that. Now, I'm sorry about that. And the next thing we have for you is the Carolina versus Washington. So I'll let you lead with that one.
And it's one I expect Carolina to win, honestly. I think Washington's going to give them a tougher test than you feel like.
No.
But, you know, say what you want to about Kirk Cousins. He's not a great quarterback. He's not even a good quarterback. But he's somebody that can get the job done, especially when all they got to do. I mean, they're going to throw the ball. They're not going to run on Carolina. They're just not going to be able to do that. Carolina's got too good of a defense. And I just don't think it's going to be... I don't see Washington coming out with this one, as much as I hate to say it, because of this guy. But, no, I honestly think that Carolina's going to take care of business. They're going to do what they need to do, and they'll go 10-0.
Well, can I get a score from you?
Score? Oh, man. If I had to say it, 27, 18, 17.
Okay, see, surprisingly though, y'all, this is actually a game that I'm kind of scary of.
Well, why are you
because, not only, first of all, they're like the underdogs in their division. They have a lot to play for. They're 4-5 right now. With a win and a slip up, they're at top of their division right now. So they're hungry. And I really am scared of that. Now, I do think we're going to win, but I don't think it's going to be by that much. The score I'm going with is 20-17.
think it's going to be that close?
I do think it's going to be that close. Because Carolina has been playing really well, but they're still a defensive team. The offense is just catching up with the defense. They're still a defensive team. I can't see. Cam Newton started out on the last game against the Tennessee Titans. The hottest streak of his career. He completed 21 of 26. He was very efficient, and he's going to have a good game. But I think that it'll be the usual Carolina game where it's like, a couple 3 and outs to start off the game.
Yeah.
So
they've been running better a little bit lately too. I will say
exactly.
that.
So I mean, I think that it will be a close game. We're not going to lose. I'm hoping we go 16-0. We're not going to lose though.
I just feel like y'all's running game's been a little bit better lately, so that those 3 and outs at the beginning of the game aren't going to be as common as they have been at the beginning of the year. I feel like Stewart's kind of hitting his little, he's getting his stride in, and I think that those 3 and outs aren't going to be as big of a problem, but let's see how it goes. Let's talk about this Cam Newton.
Now this and I'm sorry. If you can, zoom in on me, because I am dead. Alright, a few days ago, there was a letter that was written and put in the Charlotte Observer, which is in Carolina, their newspaper, whatever. Okay. He has Cam Newton has he been arrested since he's been in the NFL? Has he done anything wrong to where like the other NFL players have done that you see in the NFL? That's now I'm going to explain to you what happened. This lady that was a Tennessee Titan fan, I guess, she took her little 9-year-old daughter to the game. And Cam Newton scored. I guess it was on that last touchdown that really she got heated on or whatever.
He did that dance.
And when he did the little dance.
It's a pretty good dance.
It was a good dance. I mean, if I could just hit it a couple times too, I would. But if she did this really good dance, he did this really good dance, and I guess she got mad. She claimed that it was it's his responsibility to be a role model and all this kind of stuff. First of all, if you are allowing other people, instead of you setting the example yourself, to be role models. I understand that people can look up to other people and everything, but you should be that example. You shouldn't have to worry about any outside. So why don't you handle your own business? And if you're gonna get this upset about a game, you realize it's a game about sportsmanship and all this kind of stuff. He didn't touch the guy. He didn't do any of that. If you're gonna get this upset about a game, then why not don't and then there was a couple of sayings I think she had on there that she said her daughter asked like some silly questions and everything. I'm not saying you're lying. Could be telling the truth. But like tell some what was it? Why does he go to his kids and this and that and all this kind of stuff at home and everything? I'm sorry. You are the most ignorant person. And if you're listening, if you see this, you are the most ignorant person I have ever met. And I don't even want to talk about it more because this is on national, this is on TV, and I'm not trying to say something that I'm not supposed to. You can zoom back out.
I just feel this way about it. People that don't play sports and don't understand necessarily the level of the competition and the this guy against that guy kind of thing. And I feel like Cam. I feel like scoring a touchdown in the NFL, period, is a hard thing to do. And, especially in a game that's kind of tight. And he honestly scored a touchdown. He was excited, and all he did was a little dance that we see every Sunday. Somebody's doing something like that. And I just feel, somebody came in his face, and he did it right back in the guy's face because the guy got in his face first. I don't have a problem with that at all. If somebody did that to me, I would do the same thing just to agitate him because I saw that it agitated him, and that's something that will help me later on in the game because that guy's more worried about how I'm going to dance than how I'm going to play quarterback. So, do I have a problem with it? No, I just don't. I guess I could sort of see what the lady was talking about with the unsportsmanlike thing, but I feel like that's sports. That happens all the time. Michael Jordan, he taught jumping at anybody he played against all the time, and it wasn't on television all the time. No. But he was doing it. So I have no problems with it. The lady was being silly.
And one other thing I'm going to just throw in there. Cam Newton was sacked 5 times. The guy, now you trying to tell me that the guy just got up and said, oh, let me help you up, buddy, and everything. No, they did the little Superman and made fun of what his dance is. So you didn't say nothing about that. Just because you're a Tennessee fan, or don't mean that just because you have something to say does not mean you have to say it and be ignorant at it. And that's all that we're gonna say about it. Like, cause when I read it, I was in disgust. So, can we move on to the next topic? Let's move on to the next topic because, okay. We have the next time we have Peyton Manning. I know he was hurt, but that was essentially a benching, and I know you disagree on that, but it was it was essentially benching. And what does it mean for Peyton Manning? Now, to me, I think this is coming to the end of Peyton Manning's career. Like, I mean, Peyton Manning, he's getting older. He's getting multiple injuries after multiple injuries. I cannot see him playing after this year. The only way I can see him playing after this year is if he doesn't, start another game. Don't work for the rest of the season and not in the playoff or whatever. He might, but then you got to see that Gary Kubiak. I don't think that they're necessarily getting along well. The scheme isn't fitting on Peyton Manning and everything. I think this actually may be potentially the last that we see of Peyton Manning. And he's about to be 40, so I really do think that this is it.
I hear you. I don't think it's going to be it. I think that, you said injury after injury, but it's really only 2 injuries that you're talking about. What he tore his, was it his quad last year? And then this year it's his foot, and it's only 2 injuries. And last year he played on the one. Yeah. And he honestly played this one on the other one with his foot. I just feel like, he got hurt. Players get hurt. It's the NFL. It's going to happen. It just is happening to him later on in his career. I think that the whole disagreement with him and his coach kind of thing, how he doesn't fit into the style, I just feel like the running backs haven't done their job for Peyton to be able to apply that style yet. They can't run the ball, plain and simple. They just don't run the ball well in Denver. And I feel like that's been part of the problem. You can't run that Gary Kubiak offense if you can't run the ball, because that's what it's based on, it's predicated on. Do I think he's done? No. I think he's at least going to play 1 more year, especially because he got hurt this year. I think he wants to leave on that, with clean slate kind of thing, where he gets to play that full season and actually go through it all the way through. Now, maybe I won't say I'd be surprised if he did it, just because he hasn't been throwing the ball as well this year. But I don't know how long this foot injury's been going on, but if it's a tear, I feel like he's probably been playing on it a few weeks. And this is just the first we've heard of it. No, I don't think he's done. No, it's Peyton Manning.
Yeah, he has been playing like this all year. He hasn't been necessarily playing well, but
yeah, he's had good games though.
Yeah, he had a couple of good games. Anyway, we have the Patriots that's under undefeated streak, but then they suffer a detrimental loss. Big loss, huge loss when they lost Julian Edelman. So can the Patriots survive, and then also, what did you think about that game that they swept away with?
The game was honestly what I thought it was going to be. The Giants always play the Patriots tight, and they, as some would say, they even have their number. Those last 2 Super Bowl losses. But, anyways, no, I thought it was going to be a tight game. Honestly, the Patriots are going to be fine without Edelman through the regular season. He's coming back for the playoffs, which is what they need him for. The Patriots are going to the playoffs. They're going to the playoffs, so you're not going to start out 9-0 and not. They're going to make it. So will they be fine? Yeah. Will they finish undefeated? Probably not. Is it going to hurt them? It'll hurt them, and it might even help them a little bit too, though. It'll let those other guys get those reps that they need that aren't used to seeing them. So I think, they'll lose a few games from it, but they'll be okay. They're the Patriots.
Okay, well, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're wrong. Just saying.
Where's the guy
I'm just telling you, like, the Patriots, alright. It's no way in the world that this is not going to... First of all, you got to look at, they lost Deion Lewis. Their offensive line is beat up. And yes, Tom Brady, and I might...
We're just talking about Edelman, though. We're not talking about other players getting hurt. We're saying, how does the Edelman...
Okay, well, the Edelman, okay. Edelman. They have Danny Amendola. Danny Amendola, since he's been there, hasn't been like the starter that they wanted him to be. Because Julian Edelman. But what I will say is, Danny Amendola is a very, very injury-prone person.
Yeah,
I mean, and you give him more reps, you're giving him more hits. Yeah, for either a concussion, he broke his collarbone, I think, like twice, maybe even 3 times.
And if he gets hurt, we're talking about something else. But
yes, but what I'm saying is, we're asking about what effect does Julian Edelman affect by him getting hurt bring to the Patriots, and I'm telling you, it's one thing is because you're going to ask Daniel Amendola to step up, and we're not praying on nobody's health, but he hasn't been healthy when he's been in that star role. But
what I'm asking is, where does it really hurt them? If you just agree that they're going to make the playoffs, and if he's going to be back by the playoffs, where does it hurt the Patriots that those other guys are getting first team reps?
But what's going to hurt them is if they start falling off and they actually lose a few games, and somebody like Denver, I know that they lost their last 2, but get home field advantage. The Patriots need home field advantage.
Do they?
I believe they do. When it gets to, in the playoffs where they're playing, Denver, not even Denver, I'm sorry, Cincinnati. Cincinnati, I think, will give them a great challenge.
I think they would either way, whether they're at home or away.
Yeah, well, like I said, I do believe that.
I just feel like for the Patriots, home field advantage means nothing because they play in one of the coldest, hardest places to play besides maybe Lambeau Field. And yeah, that works to their advantage, but it also means they can go anywhere and still play their same style. So I feel like by playoff time, they'll be fine. I don't see this hurting them that bad that they got to be worried about what they're going to do for this season.
Okay. Well, we have, the next one is an interesting topic that we have for you guys. It's a topic that a lot of people really aren't talking about for some reason, and I guess because they're not a popular team or something like that. But we have the Minnesota Vikings are 7-2.
Where did they come from?
The Minnesota Vikings are 7-2, leading their division over Green Bay.
My boy Aaron Rodgers. I'm so mad.
Exactly. That is a shock because we're not used to seeing that. So, what do you think about those Vikings? Do you think they could be contenders?
Contenders, I think they're going to make the playoffs, obviously. Contenders, I don't know. I feel like, especially for Teddy Bridgewater, you got to feel the playoffs. You don't just walk into the playoffs and start doing stuff. I think that I don't think they'll win the division. I think that at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay will get their ship shaken out and they'll be fine. Aaron Rodgers hasn't even been playing that bad. And his receivers aren't even necessarily playing that bad. It's you said something about that separation that they get, isn't as good. But at the end of the day, I feel like right now what has happened is Aaron Rodgers just isn't throwing the ball quite on point. Is what he's used to doing. He's still accurate. The receiver's still catching the ball, but usually when he throws it and he hits them in stride. And then that hasn't been happening as much. He's just kind of going through a little lull. But I don't want to say the Vikings are going to be, but they're scary. Adrian Peterson, any team with a running back like that is scary.
Stephon Diggs is coming up too.
Stephon Diggs. Yeah, he's balling out. Now, I don't know. I just feel like once it hits playoff time, that's a tough time. It's a different kind of thing. I don't know. They're good. It's a great story.
Yeah. Well,
we'll see.
For me, the Vikings, it is an amazing story because nobody gave them much of a chance when they lost against San Francisco for the first game. Like I said, Stephon Diggs is playing good. The biggest key to me, because their defense is playing really good as well. Yeah. Adrian Peterson is balling out. The biggest key to me, the reason that I don't even think that they're going to win the division, I think the Packers will overtake them, is because Teddy Bridgewater. If you noticed, his play has been up and down right now. He hasn't been consistent as where they would like him. Yeah. If he gets on there they could be a team to. I don't know if they would make it all the way, but they can give some teams some headache.
They got so much talent,
Yes, they have
especially at wide receiver. You know,
and
they
their
got,
defensive backfield is ridiculous.
what they got? Mike Wallace, who's the other guy? That was
Stephen Diggs. We got Mike Wallace, and we got Cordell Patterson. I don't even know what happened to him, but I don't even know what happened to Cordell Patterson.
he's a kick return man.
But I mean, he hasn't even been in
Charles Johnson. That's who I was trying to.
Oh, Charles Johnson. Well, see, he's been all. But I really do think, like I said, with Aaron Rodgers is his play hasn't been bad. If you notice his receivers has not been getting the separation as needed. How should I say? They basically you have Randall Cobb. That's a really good slot receiver, asking to be an outside guy.
Yeah, they just take care of Randall Cobb, and that's been part of the problem.
And Devontae Adams had 21. Devontae Adams had 21 targets last week and only 79 yards. You have to get more production out of that. But like you said, the Packers, I really do think they're going to get it together. I mean, they're going to get it together. You got Aaron Rodgers. The defense hasn't been playing horrible. You're going to get it together. But next we got up on the we have Tony Romo, and he's coming back this week. He's playing the Dolphins. Tell us about what you think what would happen on that one.
Honestly, I think Tony Romo being on Dallas, they're a completely different team. When you've got somebody that plays at an all-pro level, and you have to replace him with somebody that shouldn't even be a starting quarterback in the league, of course, you're not going to get what you want out of that offense. You have to tailor your offense around what that quarterback can do. And if they can't do anything, you're going to get stuck with what happened to Dallas. They didn't have a quarterback that could do anything, so they got, how many games did they lose in a row? They lost 7 in a row.
Yeah.
So I think him coming back, it's going to change their offense. It's going to change Dez Bryant's attitude for one. He's going to be happier just because he knows that he's going to get looked at least. And I think Dallas is actually going to make a little run to try to win the division because it's not a good division that they play in. I don't think they're going to make it, but I think they're going to scare a few people.
I mean, but Dez Bryant had his opportunities last week. He had like 3 drops last week. I mean, I understand.
That doesn't happen that often.
I know he is a beast, but like I was saying, Dez Bryant, Tony Romo being back, he's gonna make a little bit of noise or whatever. But I really can't see them actually get. I mean, because their defense is still playing bad. I know it was playing the same way last year, but the defense hasn't been playing as great as it should. And yeah, Tony Romo, he's going to be back, but he's going to be rusty. And because after this week, he has to come home to Carolina.
I feel like that rusty thing is a myth. Once you've been playing in the NFL for longer than 10 years, I think you don't get rusty. You might be a little bit off on the timing slightly, but he's going to be better than what they've had.
Okay,
for sure.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. We're going to do the rest of the NFL games now.
NFL picks.
You said what?
NFL picks.
All right, so we have on the docket, we have the Tennessee versus Jacksonville, which is tonight. So we're going to actually skip that one because by the time you see the video, you're not going to be able to hear it. So we're going to do Indianapolis versus Atlanta.
Oh, man, I'm going with the Colts.
Really? St. Louis versus Baltimore. I would go... That's a toughie for me because Case Keenum is starting right now, so I'm going to go with St. Louis, matter of fact, because Baltimore has a horrible defense. So we have Washington versus Carolina. We already discussed it, but
I want to pick Washington so bad, but I'm not going to.
But you know that we're going to win.
Carolina's going to win.
Of course.
They're a better team.
And next week, if we win, I'm gonna make sure I do something. Have some Carolina gear on, 10-0, baby. You know we're already there.
Yeah, I think y'all got it. Y'all be good.
All right, so we got Denver versus Chicago. Denver's gonna win No, I mean, I know Chicago's been playing good. Denver's going to win. That's just all. I mean, we have
Playing terrible.
we have Oakland versus Detroit.
Ooh, see, for me, this is a tough one because, Detroit's been acting like they don't want to be that crappy team that they were a few years ago. They didn't win a game. Still, at the end of the day, I feel like Oakland talent's going to win out. They got a really good young quarterback, they got a really good young wide receiver, and they got a really good young running back to go along with a really good young defense. They'll be okay. I think Oakland will win this one.
All right, so we got the New York Jets versus Houston.
It's kind of tough.
That is, I mean, could Houston get their second win? They could, but I'm not going that way. We got the Jets, so the Jets are playing. I meir their
Boy,
defense.
Chris Ivory, too.
Yeah, Chris Ivory's going to be balling. So we also have the Dallas Cowboys versus Miami. Do you think they're going to get their first win?
I'm going to go with Dallas on this. Tony Romo comes out, he comes hot. I think he's going to be firing away. Let's go Cowboys.
I know, right? I hate this thing. We have the Tampa Bay versus Philadelphia. We have the Jameis Winston has been playing pretty good. I really do think that they can get this upset because their defense from the beginning of the year, whatever, has really picked it up. I really do think. Yeah, it's so much better. So I'm going with the upset. I'm going with Tampa Bay, and plus, in that division, everybody wants everybody to win. So so we have Kansas City versus San Diego. That's kind of a tough one.
Go with KC again on this one. They were my upset pick last week. I think they're going to win again this week, honestly. They've been rolling since they lost Jamal Charles. They've been playing better, and everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get this one out.
All right, so we got Green Bay versus Minnesota. Now, I know I said that Green Bay was going to take the division, but they're at Minnesota.
You're going to come back 2 games back?
They're going to lose this game. They're going to lose this game, but they're still going to win the division. So yes, they're going to come back from 2.5 games.
They're going to slide from Minnesota.
Yes, I don't think that Minnesota is going to hold off for that playoff run. So we have the San Francisco versus Seattle. Shouldn't be too hard for that one.
I'm gonna go with Seattle because I'm still not sure who San Francisco's quarterback is. And that's it.
I mean, Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah.
So no said. That's what I have to say, right?
Yeah.
That's why Atlanta, you suck for that, by the way. We have the Cincinnati versus Arizona, and I'm going with. Actually, that's a toughie. I think the Bengals might pull this one out. They just came off from an upset. I think they're going to be fired up because people are sitting and talking about this is the old Bengals, this is how old Andy Dalton and everything. I think they're going to be fired up. I think the Bengals might take that one. So for the last but not least, we got Buffalo versus New England, Monday Night Football game. What are we going to do with that?
It's my upset pick of the week.
You think it's going to happen?
I think Buffalo's going to get them. I think that Rex Ryan is going to have them ready to go.
They got blown out last time.
Yeah, but it's got to happen sometime, and I feel like now it's as good a time as any.
Okay. Enough about that. We're going to jump from the NFL right now. We're going to do a few NBA topics, some things that have happened this week. The biggest topic of the week is basically LeBron was saying that he thought that the Golden State Warriors was hungrier than what they were playing like. He thought that they didn't play with enough, anticipation, basically. So, what do you think about the statement he made, and what type of message do you think he's trying to send to his team?
I think he sent the right message. I think he was, Cleveland, they've been so on and off this year that it's just, they hit ruts in their offense where it's like give LeBron the ball and hopefully he does something with it, and then they don't play defense like the way they should sometimes. I just feel like he was trying to light a fire under him, which I would feel like a good leader does, and he was just trying to get his guys going because they've lost a few games and they've almost lost a few other games that they they very easily could have lost. They could be sitting somewhere around 500 right now if it wasn't for LeBron staying in the fourth quarter instead of getting that rest that he should get, especially now early in the season.
And remember at the beginning of the season, he said he wants 30 minutes. He's playing 40, 45 minutes right now. Like,
he just wants his guys to get out there and hustle and play, and play defense especially. But we'll see how it goes. I think it'll work. I think anytime you hear that message from LeBron, it's going to get you going a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple. It's simple as that. He's saying basically, when they lost against the Pistons, why can't we beat the Pistons? Why should I have to play in the fourth quarter just to give us a chance to beat them? And that's basically what he's saying. This team is good enough to stay in games and everything, and when I'm off the floor. So basically, that's what I got out of it. Just play better, play with more aggressiveness. Certain players he was actually pointing out to actually get their act together. So that's basically all that he was basically trying to say. But we also have, now this one is surprise of the year right here. Porzingis. Everybody was hating